Planning and Zoning and Variance Commission meeting, regular meeting, March 10th, 2026. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank all the commissioners that are here tonight for coming. Appreciate. Roll call.
Miller.
Here.
Trotter.
Here.
Moderano.
Here.
Spain.
Yes, sir.
Rollo.
Here.
Norris. Leone.
Here. Public comments? None?
I didn't receive any, no.
Approval of minutes? February 10th, 2026 regular meetings. I think Mr. Spain has a
Yeah, we got
correction?
got a correction on the attendance. We have Vice Chair Rollo marked as present and also as absent.
Yep. Definitely.
But if I looked through, I didn't see anything else in I looked through. That was just all that I saw.
I appreciate it. That's
No worries at all. I appreciate y'all guys.
I copy and paste, and sometimes I, get a little quick. So.
There you go. I understand. I do the same.
All right.
So I make a motion to accept the minutes with that change.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Moderano. Roll call.
Miller.
Yes.
Trotter.
Here.
Moderano.
Yes.
Spain.
Yes, sir.
Rollo.
Abstain.
Leone.
Yes. Public hearing, staff, go ahead and explain.
Yeah, so we do have a application for a rezone, submitted by the applicant is Mary Grace Tamborelli. It is a major impact review because it's a rezone. Everything's in order. Unfortunately, she called me Friday and said that she had a medical thing come up, so she won't be able to make the meeting today. Like I said, we're good to go, so I'm gonna request that you table this to the
14th.
April 14th, 2026 regular meeting at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, do I have a motion to table this particular application?
I make a motion that we
Mr. Treader,
table it.
have a second?
I second it.
Second, Ms. Miller. Roll call.
Miller.
Yes.
Trotter.
Yes.
Moderano.
Yes.
Spain.
Yes, sir.
Rollo.
Yes.
Leone.
Yes.
Thank you guys, I appreciate that.
Old business, comprehensive plan review.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Nick.
Back at it again. We're going through this pretty good. I mean, we're not in a rush, but I do appreciate you guys. I know it's a struggle to always do this. Hopefully next meeting we might have some different stuff. We'll give this maybe a break, maybe not, we'll see. So I passed out some handouts. The first one's that community growth and land use. That's the stuff that we've gone through so far. It has all the feedback on the side there. You can see. If you guys look through it, speak. If I missed anything, let me know. It's not a big deal. That's kind of summarizing everything we've been talking about. And this is obviously a big piece of what we do here in the Planning and Zoning Variance Commission. So is that community growth and land use. So, but this all definitely does apply to us. But that is a big piece of what happens for and this is why it's such an important document for our group. So, yeah, that's just that. I just want to summarize that, kind of give that to you guys. And, like I said, take a look. If you see something, say, oh, I said this and you missed it. That's totally fine. We'll go back and, like I said, this is a great document. It's kind of like a comprehensive audit, is what I kind of, after thinking about this enough, that we could give to the next consultant whenever that happens, and they'll have a great feel for what we want to look at in the future and stuff that we've done in the past that has worked and hasn't worked. So that's just what we're doing here. And if there's no real anything on that community growth and land use, we can move to the economic development. This is obviously going to be
Has anybody got any questions on what we went through? If you do, bring them forward.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a general question
Yeah.
about this whole thing. So I've heard of this, like a case study of a city similar to this that was like, you know, boom and bust mining town, and it was in decline, there was a lot of blight, et cetera, and the city decided to do a land bank.
Okay.
So it was like the city would reclaim these buildings that were being
Mhm.
neglected, or, you know, they would put the lien on the building, and when the owner didn't pay the lien, they would take the building.
Yeah.
And then they would put it up for auction, like for super cheap, like let's say
Mhm.
$5,000.
Mhm.
But there were stipulations where they said like within this amount of time, you have to
Develop
meet
it.
these requirements, you have to bring it up to this, you know, the energy code or the
Yeah.
aesthetics or whatever, like, and then if they don't do that, then they take it back again. So then that, it eliminated that sort of thing where
Mhm.
buildings that were, you know, not safe or
Yeah.
bad, like just weren't like painted over, and then there wasn't like the slumlord thing, and then the city was getting a lot of revenue for that, and it was like beautified the city, and it attracted people, and then and then the like buildings that were the city owned that were not able to like be rehabilitated, they would scrape them down and then put a like a community garden there.
Yeah.
So then there were none of these like empty lots. And I can send anyone who's interested this case study.
Definitely send it to me.
Oh, okay, great, yeah,
Awesome.
and I'm wondering if that's like a possibility, or if you guys tried that, or if it's not possible.
I mean, I don't think we've tried it to that extent, but that's very feasible, I think. I mean, it'd obviously be a lot of work, and I can't say we're gonna do it tomorrow and we're gonna start seeing beautification across our town, but that's a very long-term play, but to address some of these concerns that we have, it's gonna take longer time periods. But yeah, I really like that idea.
Can I weigh in on that?
Yes, sir.
So in the 60s, Trinidad had big urban renewal projects, great big. They tore 56 houses down in one summer. And that's where you got the college, built the girls' dorms and the boys' dorms. And then the houses that were able to be, that they considered at that time there, you had one building inspector, and I don't know how many they have now, one or maybe two. But anyway, short version, if that house was able to be moved and it was in good shape, you had to get it off of that property. You couldn't leave it on there. And they moved several houses, people bought them and moved them on their own. They created what they call what's that up there where you go up Colorado and they got that drive?
Victoria Square?
On the other side. So you go up Colorado Avenue and you take a left and you take a sharp right.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, anyway, that whole development up there is houses that they moved.
Oh, really?
Those look like older homes.
Yeah, they moved them houses there. And they moved one, if you're familiar with Chinese restaurant, what do they call the one right there on State?
Wonderful house.
No,
Great Wall.
the what?
Great Wall.
Great Wall. If you go to the Great Wall and you take a left, that's College Street. And you go down College, on the right-hand side, there's a one house, two house, and there's a great big house. It's brick. They moved that house, that whole house, because it was historical.
Wow.
They moved that whole house. And when they did that, took them about a month and a half to do, but when they did that, the truck made the turn and fell through the city water line. It was so heavy.
I can see that.
And they had to get another truck and a big crane to pick that truck up and move it over, but they put it there. That's another house. It was big then. It wasn't quite what you're talking about, because you couldn't leave the house there. They bought them people out. People could take anything they wanted out of that house and take it. They could take their furnace, they could take bathroom sets, they could take anything out. Whatever they left in there became the property of the contractor who got the job.
But that's a good point too of, you know, like of if the city could own these things and anything that's good, like the salvage stuff, you know, and then you could make more revenue through that.
But I'm
instead
just
of
saying, I just brought it up because you brought it. I don't want to take up the meeting.
No, that's cool.
I
That's
used to
cool.
move houses, that's a pretty good project, right?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, definitely send me that, Commissioner Miller. That sounds, yeah, like something we've kind of talked about little chunks, but I'd love to see someone go full on, make it kind of one of their programs. It sounds like, which is
Yeah, and they
we
have
can
all the
see.
data. I think it happened
I'm sure.
a while ago, so
Yeah,
let's
it
see.
does. It takes time.
It was Warren, Ohio.
Okay, Warren?
Yeah. And I think it was a steel town instead of coal,
Mhm.
but it was similar to
Very,
Trinidad.
yeah, very similar. Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I'll take a look at that. Let's see how we can implement that. Definitely, it's a great idea.
Okay, Nick.
So economic development obviously is a very big one for all of us. And then I guess we could go through the goals a little bit. And this is the goals that they set, this is again 2015, and this one, I do wanna rely on you guys and your experiences and your, just because, you know, I was thinking about it and I was trying to write some notes and I was like, well, I don't know, in 2015 I was away, I was in college. And then when I came back, I worked at the coal mine, so I just drove 45 minutes up the road. I never really paid attention to town to see what changes were happening, so I'd love to hear you guys' opinion on these ones. So this is provide opportunities for new businesses and industries while retaining, expanding existing businesses and retailers. And then the action step was identify target business types and develop incentive programs to attract them. What I will say, when I was reading through the comprehensive plan on this piece, at the time, the city did have an economic development department. It was its own department. We no longer have one, so that's obviously gonna play a piece into this. You're looking at the economic development department right now, just myself. It's not my forte by any means, but I've worked enough to get some of the projects we have off the ground, recently, so, and I've definitely tried to entertain everything I can to attract business to Trinidad. But like I said, I'd really like you guys' opinion on this, on these new, you know, providing opportunity to new businesses, what kind of businesses we wanna see. Kinda like Commissioner Miller mentioned earlier, we are historically been stuck in the boom and bust of oil and gas and coal mining. So trying to obviously be less dependent on those job opportunities. They're big and when they're there, they're great. And they're good for our town, but sometimes they're not always there in the numbers wise, there's not a mass of them, so, especially with that coal mining.
And the longevity.
And the longevity, so, go ahead. Like I said, I'm gonna keep this one open to you guys, I really wanna hear your guys' opinion on this.
Okay.
I got some feedback on this area. I would love, to see the town support technology. I think, an opportunity that would support most all businesses would be to bring the fiber backbone into town and make it more dominant, and to also support 6G coming into the area.
Okay.
That right there would move our technology into another level.
Mhm.
It would allow more users. But beside the point, we're talking about if we invest in technology, we're talking about people that can have work from home
Yeah,
opportunities.
that's huge.
We're not talking about having to bring a business to the area in order to have employment. We're talking about being able to have people live here and have employment a million miles away. We still get to benefit, our families get to live here and grow up here. And, you know, to me, I'm all about technology, you know who I am. So that's what I got to say about that.
No.
Mr.
I
Tanner?
mean, that's a big piece to our town is the work from home element.
I
That's for
agree,
sure.
I'm here to help.
There's a lot of people, and I'm sure Commissioner Rollo can speak to this, a lot of people, they come here and they work from home, is that right? Is that your experience as well?
So
It's a big part of what I experience with people coming into town.
here's the reality with what I actually teach. They don't actually have to complete the degree. If they have a high school diploma, come take my certification course and can go down and pass that test, in 6 months, they can go from nothing to $180,000 a year.
It's fantastic.
It's no joke, I'm not playing, and there are certifications after certifications down there that apply that exact same way. We're not talking about degrees no more.
Yeah.
So I just wanna put that out there. I love y'all's support and here to help in every way I can.
Mr. Tanner?
Yeah, I've been kind of working on an idea that I shared with Mayor Michaels and when I was campaigning, there was a tremendous amount of enthusiasm for solar electricity, rooftop solar here in town. And our our city government really doesn't promote that very much, and in fact, there are some impediments to employing it. And one of the ideas that I had that would generate maybe couple of dozen really good high-paying jobs in this town would be if we could work in conjunction with Trinidad State College, have them start a program to teach solar installers, certified solar panel installers and solar system installers, who could be employed by the city utility to put solar systems on people's homes. It would be there's a lot of scams when it comes to solar installation businesses. This would take some of the risk out of that type of purchase. And if this thing is structured the way that I think it could be structured, people wouldn't see any increase in their utility bills at all. In fact, they might even get a rebate. And it would you know, if a raccoon jumped across a couple of electrodes on a transformer, it wouldn't shut the whole town down. And we'd have you know, if there as many as 60% of the households here in town could benefit from solar electricity, and it would enhance our resilience to major power grid failures. Could reduce utility bills, and I think it's a win-win thing. It would create a lot of jobs. That program that if we could get it started at Trinidad State College, and Lynette Bates and Leanne Richardson have taken a look at it, and they're very interested in it. We'd even have people coming from all over northern New Mexico and southern Colorado to go through this program. So I'm going to try to refine the concept a little bit more, and then introduce it on a wider basis. But I think it's lots of good jobs, more resilience, and reduction of utility bills.
There is one thing, and I can't speak for the electrical department because it is its own enterprise, but I do know they have a contract with ARPA, so that's who we purchase power from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where there's some sticking point where only X amount can come from solar.
20% of our electricity can be generated by solar. Solar. So we have to. If we got serious about this, we'd have to renegotiate contracts.
Exactly, there'd be some negotiating. Like I said, that is in the enterprise of the power and light.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, it's all fair game right now.
On
so.
that particular thought though, you gotta realize then you're gonna be competing with private enterprise.
Mhm.
You got people that are in that business,
Yeah.
okay? You can't compete with private enterprise.
Are there
You're-
companies
because
in town that do
because
that?
they're paying taxes, and for instance, city doesn't pay no taxes. That's my personal opinion. You're trying to compete with private enterprise, because there's people all over Colorado, all over New Mexico that do this for a living,
Yeah,
and you're
we treat it
interfering with
as-
their living.
Yeah.
I have, I've interacted with, I get calls down to college all the time from this kind of deal. I go out and I help people who are retired that have this type of system set up,
Mm-hmm.
and they interact with San Isabel. It's a completely different system. They don't have battery banks, they don't have backup power. It's an on-demand kind of system. It's definitely weird. But I understand what he's talking about. I'd love to teach this class. But so one of the people who had a friend get a hold of me called me out, and he's on a set income, retired, and all of a sudden his solar quit functioning because it tripped because a bird got up into the line and threw his breaker. So the company that installed it actually came from California, and they told this older gentleman to get on the internet and do all this stuff, and he don't know nothing about none of that, and he don't want to know. And then the next solution was to bring someone down from Colorado Springs, and it was a minimum of 4 hours on the job just to come down and flip a breaker. So I got in contact with the company. I went out and flipped it for him. He's all good. Told him to listen for the buzz. That's how he knows it's working. Don't touch anything. But yeah, there is a demand for this. But like Mr. Leone was saying, I mean, if I was to start something like this, just helping people out, I don't know what I would do if I had to compete against the city who
Right.
had unlimited
Right.
resources.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Mr. Roller.
I believe that we should have our own economic development department. I think it's so important, it should be a full-time,
she said Nick needs help.
say again?
That's what you said. You said Nick needs help.
Yeah,
Nick doesn't.
Nick needs lots of help.
they need
Yes,
their
I
own
agree.
little department.
I
And,
agree.
just looking at our neighbor Pueblo that has an economic development department, they have really done an excellent job. If you look at what they've done in the last 10 years, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, oh goodness, if we just maybe got one of those businesses, right? Or two. But nobody's out there searching, where true economic development department, that's their whole job. They're out trying to get these people, where Nick is getting them as they've already shown interest.
Coming in,
Well,
yeah.
he has such a full plate.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
no, I'm not
we
saying
gotta
they
give
should be
Nick
doing
some
that,
help.
but an economic development department, I think is.
I agree.
wonderful.
And so the good thing about, or what Pueblo's done too, is they've invested so much in their industrial park.
Yeah.
And they have a top-notch industrial park
Still
to attract those,
Mhm.
those businesses. They have rail lines,
Mhm.
they have all the infrastructure you need as far as utilities go.
Yeah.
Which is something that, you know, yes, an economic development department, but that's something that we can work on, you know, as planning commission, myself and the city as a whole. We can still work on stuff like that,
Yeah.
because that is within our control.
Yeah.
So that's something that we probably need to look forward to in this, what we're talking about right now.
Oh, and I wanna chime in too, that the, emergent campus is like, kind of peripherally
Yes.
about that, and they're, like, yeah, they've done some trips to Pueblo and seen that industrial park, I heard all about it, and it's great. And then, yeah, working on the industrial area here.
Yeah.
And their downtown's amazing too.
It is,
Yes.
the
They've
river
really
walk.
worked hard
You know,
for their downtown.
That's what we should project forward to what we want to end up in. I mean, I think developing our river is comparable to what they have is, I mean, San Antonio's Riverwalk, I mean, that's what I see whenever I look at what we have.
Mhm.
So I absolutely, that's what we could move forward to. Be great to have something like
Mr. Monroe?
Well, I understand that our power supply is lacking right now. If we grow much more, infrastructure has to be brought up. Right now, we can't deliver enough electricity, we're just maintaining what we have. If we expand, any part of the city, it's gonna hurt. Or you're gonna have to spend some money and bring your infrastructure up to date. That's what I understand.
Yeah.
that. What are we talking about, needing substations to expand outward so that we can get our reach without having so much voltage drop, I mean, and that kind of stuff, is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Cause our power comes from the far, west.
West or east?
Ooh, like I said, I'm the wrong guy to ask. I do
Okay.
know, well,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, continue.
I believe it comes from, I'm not sure, but it's, either one of the northern states on the west end of the country.
Well, I mean, we have power opportunities. You have a 30-mile water pipeline that you could put 100 turbines in and make them enough electricity to light the whole town.
Well, yeah,
No, I mean, the question is, do
but you
you
gotta
wanna
have
do it?
money to do that.
Yeah.
See?
There's some, there's a lot of merit to what Commissioner Lauderdale said, you know, we do struggle. There would be upgrades, and that's not just stuck to the power and light, that's gonna be, water. If you expand too far north and there's, you know, you start losing elevation, because our water system is purely,
Gravitation.
yeah, gravitational. Sewer obviously runs into capacity issues. It's not an issue right now, but it can be. So there is some merit there, and that's one thing that is difficult, but the reality is, like, our power and light doesn't service our industrial park. It's San Isabel.
Right.
Same goes for the south side of town. So we do have some developments past Allendale, like the recent one we talked about, Grand Ventures, that we are servicing, but
And the
Yeah.
east side of town too? San Isabel's on the east side too?
San Isabel's on the east side of town, yes. Where I live is on San Isabel, so yeah. But then we do have some other city stuff beyond it, that's a little funky. But there is, yeah, San Isabel's kind of a, now, having been a good partner with them, you know, is really good, but but it hurts us because we lose a lot of our biggest consumers of power. We don't have on as a bill, so you don't get paid like you would for other things. So there's a lot of merit there, and I think that's going to be evaluated in our comprehensive plan is what not just power, but all our utilities need if we're going to continue to grow. Like for the industrial park, there could be concerns about we're getting too high in elevation and we can't feed it with enough pressure for water. So that's stuff that we need to look at and it's not right now, but if we continue to grow.
And the gas too out there.
Gas is an issue as well.
Gas is a low pressure.
And that's been a conversation point for quite a while, and they have been working on that. Hopefully we can get some solutions there.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I just throw something out from the consumer side?
You want to come up here, please?
Okay. This is just from the consumer.
You want to introduce yourself?
Okay. Nelma Treiner. Anything else?
Okay.
So our electric bill from the church this month is $1,259. And most of that is gas, but half of the gas bill is an energy charge. And so, and then we're talking about in the paper that I mentioned that our electric bills our utility bills might go up another quarter. So last month ours was $970. The month before that it was $790. This month is $1,250, and we're there one day a week. And TMA is there 2 days a week. So we know that it's a big building, but that's a lot of money. And if there was a way to just understand that the consumer is worried about the increase in costs. So I just want to throw that out there.
We can turn that over to staff. We can't answer your question up here.
I don't have a
But
question.
Nick will put it down.
I'm just letting you know how it is and you probably know from your business, but it's just a lot, and if there's going to be an increase, it will be more, a more problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and then that goes hand in hand, what you were saying about the electricity with maybe the solar, and maybe if it's not possible to do that with the city, like whatever, but even just like for the consumer having incentives like the way Denver does for, so it's not like so expensive to have solar, because that would, like you're right, if we're gonna grow, we have to do something different, and maybe that could be part of the solution.
Your infrastructure's gotta follow it, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, Commissioner Materano, you nailed it. One of the things that I think we need to consider is that over the next 10 years, there's going to be a big push to get away from natural gas for home heating, and that means that we'll be more reliant on electricity. And I don't know about you folks, but in our home, whenever we turn on a motor of some kind that draws a bit of current, all the lights in the house get darker. These feeder lines that are coming in from from the power lines. I think there's going to, if we're really going to be serious about trying to transition away from natural gas over to electricity for heating, there's going to have to be substantial upgrades to our electrical infrastructure here in town, unless a bunch of our homes here are putting electricity back on the grid that they're generating.
Well, that's where your buyback program comes in.
Yeah, and we could look. That. Like I said, I'm not the right guy because I don't handle those contracts. But yeah, incentivizing by having a higher buyback price, I could understand that. I understand right now it's really low. So
It is.
yeah.
Okay.
You have anything, Commissioner or Chairman Leone?
No.
I guess the next goal, focus economic development efforts, both new development and redevelopment in strategic locations as depicted on the plan direction map. The plan direction map is on the back, one of the last pages of your comprehensive plan there, but I think, and this is just from our last talks, and if I'm talking for you, please stop me, but I know we really wanna focus redevelopment in our downtown corridor, our vacant commercial buildings. And, you know, I guess one thing we need to do when we redo this, or go through this process again, is make sure our plan reflects that. I'm sure things have changed, I guess this is, the plan's 10 years old now, so we're,
Won't need to get the map.
My book's at the house.
so anyone need a book? I do have a spare, but I need it back, unfortunately, or, is there another one, someone else need another one? I need it back, those are my spares, that you guys could use them, it's just, I don't wanna do it over and over again.
Do we have plans for that, gravel road that's the back road out to the Maverick? That runs past, the wrecking yard, you know where I'm at?
Yes, heading north. Yes. No plans right now, so, I have talked with the gentleman that owns the property next to the Maverick. He's shown some interest in annexation type stuff, but, he was kinda, everything's been really preliminary at this point.
So if we're gonna work on trying to bring that in, we're gonna have to work on that road.
That's fine, yeah, any development.
Is that road city or county?
It's county road,
That's what I thought.
so it is, yeah, the city ends right there, it's, I think it's concreted,
Yeah.
and it stops.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
They're
I know
not
where
even
you're at.
pavement transition.
It doesn't.
Yeah, so that, wherever it's ended the concrete, that's where the city.
What's going on that right-hand side out there by the Loves on the other side of the railroad tracks? That's not where the TA's supposed to be, the TA's
No.
on the south side.
Yes, right now, I don't know, that is
It's gotta
Los
be a
Angeles
county
County.
product.
Yeah,
Okay,
Um,
we'll have to keep an eye on that.
I know there's Loves is the owner of that property, so I don't know
Huh.
if they've,
Maybe
maybe
they're
subdivided,
developing something.
maybe they sold it. I sure hope so. And that'd be
There's some
fine.
big equipment moving out there, so
Yeah.
it looks like they're doing a pretty big pad.
Hmm.
Looks like a nice deal.
Yeah, I'll reach out to my contacts at Loves and see if they've sold it at least.
Yes, sir.
But, so back to we got the focus economic development efforts, new development, redevelopment, according to our plan direction. You can see in our plan direction map, we have the orange is the redevelopment. So that's kind of along our historic downtown corridor. You can see the, historic district in that blue kind of in there, and then, it's mainly along our commercial, right, our commercial ways. You kind of see it goes out east along Main Street, goes south up Santa Fe Trail, extends. Then they also did a redevelopment of one of the northern neighborhoods. So that's kind of north of Kit Carson Park, it looks like, which there has been a lot of progress up there within City View Heights. So that's been at least been taken care of. There's still a lot of work to be done in that neighborhood.
That's where that new building's going.
Yes, that's correct.
It's looking good.
So you can kind of see that redevelopment, and then, let's see, we have the growth areas in the green. You can see that's kind of the northern part where you have the industrial park, Cougar Canyon in its entirety, and then as well as some south by the Walmart and near Duran Ventures in there where they have their property. So we have had some successes in those green areas. And I don't know, I think just looking at this, making sure we're okay with those type of areas, especially, it's hard because this overlaps with residential and commercial, but, you know, economic development's purely commercial. So, or that's what at least we're talking about right now, is trying to get that job creation, tax base, and all that good stuff that comes along with economic development. So you're not gonna really see that in the neighborhoods too much. That's where you're gonna see hopefully your housing is taken care of. And so I don't know, I don't know if we probably just wanna, I'd have you guys look at that, make sure those lines where they're drawn make sense. If you have any questions about why is that there. And I don't know if we need to change it to maybe that industrial park. Yes, it's a growth area, but looking at what type of businesses we want in those different areas. Just because we don't want the same stuff in Cougar Canyon or back there where Ray Duran owns south of Allendale, we don't want that same development as the industrial park probably, right? We want industrial park, hopefully, we're looking for the real industrious type of a business. Where these other places, we might be looking for smaller commercial. But, open it up to you guys, what do you guys have?
So, I think I'm on the right track there. So, when you come into our industrial park there, and you come off that exit where Love's is and everything,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta come back out that way. But yet, you come on down to where Acorn and all them are, that's industrial park.
Yeah,
So, why hasn't there ever been a road or something made, so you can come straight through, and come out there,
mm-hmm.
by where Schultz's marijuana place is?
Yes.
Sorry, for instance. Instead of going all the way down in there, turning around and coming back out the other way.
Yeah, I understand.
And at one time when the marijuana came in, I don't know if you were here or not, but the biggest part, as soon as you cross over the tracks,
Mhm.
that marijuana place that was there to the right,
Yeah,
they were supposed to do that. That was
Yes.
in their plan.
yeah.
And when the city gave them all what they had to have,
Mm,
and they came into it, that was the whole idea, to make another access.
I see. Yeah, I think that, like a secondary access to the industrial park, kinda like you're referencing, I think that'd be a good promoter for economic development, but I think it'd also be a great safety thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I don't know where that fits in this plan, but I think we could bring it up and say,
I think it should be set in there some way, it doesn't necessarily have to be done, but it's something that shows that it should be maybe.
yes,
In the future.
I totally agree. I'm right there with you. And that's not just, and if our industrial park is going to continue to grow, we have more traffic out there.
Right.
That's even more health safety, associated with only having one entryway, or one access into the industrial park on that end, so. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
That goes without saying that, when I built that building on Linden, I could have bought a plot in the industrial park cheaper than I paid for the one on Linden.
Okay.
But having to go all the way to that interchange to come back, I couldn't see it.
I see.
So that's why I bought the property on Linden,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
cause you got two access.
Yeah, but if you have a.
You either go down Linden and come out
Mhm.
at the rest
Yeah.
area, or come up to Goddard and go out.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha.
Didn't you guys change all the zoning down in the list? Didn't they take away the industrial zoning down there?
We haven't.
Wasn't it talked about or something?
We haven't, we've talked about it recently, but, that's something that we should definitely probably look at. We have a lot of industry zoned houses in that Linden area.
Mhm.
This is Linden between Main Street and White, I believe, so where the railroad tracks are. There is a lot of industrial stuff, because originally that was all rail line before those houses were there, so they said, we're gonna zone industrial, which is what a rail line would be. And then after they started building houses down there, they never really made them rezone it. So that's something that I think we could look at, how we do that, how we make it easier on those people to come through and get those rezones. Make sure they follow the process, but try to ease it up on them.
So you don't want it to be industrial down there anymore, you do?
I wouldn't, not for the single family homes,
Right.
but there is some uses that are kinda industrious, there's a couple, but for the most part, no, we wouldn't want that. Now, the hard part is the rail line would still need to be industrial, because but that's not really gonna budge any which way.
Isn't the, and I could be wrong, I'm just thinking in my memory, going all along the river right there, when you come off of Linden, isn't all of that zoned industrial? Like when you turn on Rico?
Yeah, it does,
Yeah.
yeah, it does. There's little spots where people have rezoned, but it's mostly industrial.
Yeah.
So I think that's something we could look at in our upcoming plan, is how we make that burden easier on people to get that rezoned appropriately.
For residential?
For residential, yes.
Yeah, cause it's gonna be hard to do residential along that river area because it's the floodplain.
Red zone, yeah.
That's really difficult as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's in the big floodplain.
Mhm, it is. It's in the,
If we want to develop that river walk scenario, we're gonna have to open up some of this river to commercial development. That's a fact, you can't have businesses on the river if you can't build businesses on the river.
that's true too, yeah. the river is zoned open space in some areas, which is, you know, appropriate, but up against it, it varies all over the place. Like you have the Toyota, which is obviously commercial, and then you have, I think we zoned, what did we zone ours recently?
Didn't
We
we
zoned
get
open
a,
space because it's river bottom.
didn't we get a big chunk back from the railroad that's on the other side of the river? That would maybe be able to offer us the opportunity to change some of the park into, development?
Yes, yeah, and we did zone that open space because it was that park and the river itself. But the things abutting the river, it's well worth looking at to see if we could get
Yes.
away from that industrial. A lot of it is industrial because that's where the rail line ran.
I agree.
So we could either, we don't want industrious uses down there, but
I
we want
agree.
commercial uses.
Commercial uses would be nice though.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I can't remember the name of the street, Nick, but you know when you come from Main Street and you come down, you cross over the river and then you turn left. And there's a few houses on the right-hand side. If you get out and walk, you'll actually find like old sidewalks where all those houses got taken out in the flood.
Wow, okay.
So if you get out and walk, you'll see old foundations, old sidewalks that are grown over. All that area too, from the street, which I can't remember the name of the street, to the river, that's all along there. I don't know what the zoning is, but it fits right into like what he's saying, like potential business.
Yeah.
Potential business.
And it's
yeah.
going back towards downtown.
Mhm.
I just can't think what the street is. It's
Yeah.
the very first one when you come over the bridge.
On Linden? Or-
You're
okay.
on Linden, you come over the
Yeah.
bridge.
So you take a left, the river's
Take
on
a
the
left.
left-hand side.
Yes,
Yes, I
and
know
then there's
about that.
houses
Right,
on the
There's a
right.
big teepee over there, right?
I think
Yeah.
That's
so,
another,
yeah.
that's another issue.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
there's a big teepee right there. I know where you're
So I
going
don't know
with
what the zoning is right there, I can't
Uh-huh.
remember, but
Yeah,
it would play nicely
it
into
would.
downtown.
That's exactly right, especially if like, Commissioner Spain said, if you do Riverwalk improvements,
that. Oh, I think it'd be
people
great.
people will stop and
Mhm.
eat lunch and then they continue their walk or whatever they have planned, or go down and hopefully fish or whatever we
Absolutely.
could do, yeah.
Does
I
that
totally agree.
area, is that,
Let's see where we are in this. It looks like it's green, so it's growth,
okay,
which is good, and
so it's this little section like right in there?
yeah, kind of stuck in there. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
yeah. So that's good, but maybe, like I said, maybe we open that up to making it easier to rezone. That way, for those type of areas, we could get out of industrial to commercial
Maybe multi-use.
or multi-use. Yeah, even multi-use. would be
Do
great.
either housing or
Mhm.
small commercial.
Yeah, multi-use would be great too.
Yeah.
Um,
That way you could have some live-in residents that would have home businesses.
And there's a bunch of property there on the, where you're talking about on the left-hand side,
Mhm.
There is.
there is.
going
Yeah.
towards the river, you know, that could be maybe built in for some,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's all private property.
It is. There is one thing, there's one piece out there that is Los Angeles counties, so
Oh, wow.
hopefully and it's decently sized, but I don't know if it's exactly abutting the unknown street that I'm drawing a blank on as well. But yeah, there is some, which would be good, cause usually
That would be good for like.
jurisdictions could work together on
When people
that.
come in and they wanna go down there and have lunch
I know, that's,
next to the river with,
I know.
you know,
You know how the dirt road right there dead ends, does it go, I think it's platted to, I think it continues like to where Marty's Speeds used to be? Am I right?
Some of that might have been vacated a
Okay.
long time ago,
Yeah.
but that's something
Very
I could.
interesting back there.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting, you're right.
Yeah.
TP and all, it's very interesting.
Hey, I like it.
No,
I
but
mean, I mean, interesting for potential.
it, no, I agree,
Yeah.
and that's why, I mean, La Puerta kind of backs up to it, right?
I think so.
Where there's obviously been a ton of development,
right,
and it's not always the easiest, but it's very beneficial, it's very pretty, you know, it's awesome, so trying to kind of build on that momentum is actually
I
a
think
great
so.
idea, and that's something that's never came across
And
my mind.
I think it'd be great.
getting back to what Janelle said, this role is, so are them, I never noticed the sidewalks and that, so
Yeah.
are them still property like lots?
I don't know, I haven't dug into it, it was just, I had,
Because that'd be
it's a long
something,
story why I was out there
that would be
walking
something,
around, but yeah.
that would be something like what we've been talking about, urban renewal, you
Oh,
know?
It would.
it
That
could
would-
be.
That would tie in with it. That's
Yeah, urban renewal definitely, it could if, the hard thing with urban renewal, it has to cure blight, so if it's already scraped, that kind of erases that piece away. But they also do
But
they
improvement.
could do improvement for utility type stuff, which might be, I haven't, to be honest, I have no clue what utility look like in that area, but it could be an issue. I would say it probably is, so that's where urban renewal could definitely come in, which would be good too, yeah, that's right.
And then I just have a question
Mhm.
about Cougar Canyon. It's a huge amount of land that's
Mhm.
on the, is it even a possibility in yet, or is it still a big mess?
It is a mess, absolute mess.
Where's that? Where we talking?
Cougar Canyon.
Oh, Cougar Canyon.
It is an absolute mess, just because there's metro districts, one metro district now still out there, and there's a bond measure that they have. And then as well as their how many mills they have is just outrageous. So there's a lot of issues with the releasing of the funds for those people that do pay property taxes out there. And the biggest thing was that bond measure, that's why they couldn't let go of that other metro district. So it probably, and this is just preliminary talks, is probably the first step would have to be to try to seat the metro district. So that way, at least they have a board that can start spending funds and paying back funds, so. But it is a lot, because there's a lot of tax issues out there, a lot of tax issues.
It's not even an option at this point.
It's gonna take a lot of work, and work well beyond the city staff. We'll have to hire some consultants that could have some experience untangling something like that, which I don't know if there is anything like that. Exactly.
Right,
So,
right.
Well,
should it
but
still
people
be
that
on
have
the
done
map?
close,
The taxes aren't being paid on that.
some people do, some people
So a
do.
lot of come up for sale.
But a lot of them come, yeah, a lot of them are for sale on the tax.
Yeah.
But
Tax sale.
there's issues with utilities out there as well, with the sewer, so.
There's transformers sitting everywhere out there.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of
A lot
stuff
of
on
wire
the
out
ground.
Wow.
So I don't know, I don't know if we should,
Man, I'm gonna tell you.
like in this plan direction map, they have it all green. I don't know if we should just like have a different color and say it's Cougar Canyon, and this
Yeah.
is,
It's a
great,
mess.
it's great to work on it and hope we could get there, but know, in our minds, know that it is a big untangling that's gonna take years of work just to even start doing anything out there, so.
Yeah, I have a question about that development. Are most of the vacant lots owned by many private individuals or by one? In fact, Commissioner Rolo, you may be more aware of this than I am. Or is the ownership consolidated into just a few hands, or do you have a good feel for it?
Yeah, so there's a owner, I definitely know them, that owns the golf course it's kind of one big lot, the golf course, as well as the hotel. And then it's mostly companies kind of buying like a block at a time, if not multiple blocks. But there are a couple people that own lots out there,
Okay.
like local people. When they call me, I'm like, oh no, I can't, like, well, what can I do? And I'm like, oh no, I don't know, you can't do anything, and it's just, it's awful. So that it is awful. So
It is.
there's a handful of
That's
them.
been a can of worms.
Title problems after title.
Yeah, right.
Title problems, yeah, and it goes all the way, the title problems go all the way back to the beginning, so.
It's like holding you up without a gun.
So it's kind of like, it's on our map for people to say,
One day.
If you have really, really deep pockets, you have the deepest pockets, and you could really take a look at it.
it's
But
an
yeah.
unrealistic growth.
So-
I would agree, at least at this point, until I mean, having it on the map obviously is probably good, just know it's there, but just understanding that, and I don't know what we call it, something else, but just saying,
Separated land.
yeah, or something like growth, and I can't come up with a very political term, I'll come up with one in the meantime. But, just, it's difficult.
What we would be looking for in this situation wouldn't be for the city to clear this up. We would be looking for a private investor that would come in and buy this out.
It would be both, it'd be a combination between the city, Los Angeles County, and a private
Because that's in the
investor.
Pony District.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got Homey School District who's owed
Okay.
taxes.
City doesn't get no taxes out
the Purgatory River Conservancy's own taxes on there.
Right?
No private investor is gonna pay the amount of
That's-
money
yeah.
to clean this.
No way.
It's an impossible task.
So it's gonna take a lot of,
more.
And basically,
Better someone
Janelle
help
probably
us.
would know, Mr. Roller would probably know that, here a few years back, several years back, the taxes that were owed, they were set to zero because Honey wasn't getting them.
Did they set them back?
And they were
I thought
getting
they didn't.
penalized.
They
no,
didn't.
I don't think, well, no one's ever paid them.
Right.
So-
They
Right,
never
but
paid it,
they
but the
didn't-
state still thought they were getting it.
Oh,
Right.
is that right?
And so they had a delinquent, they had, because I'm in the district down there with them.
Yeah.
And when I went to that meeting and they just let the taxes go because it was hurting the school.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
It-
'cause
it's-
the
it hurts
school
their
was-
bankroll, yeah.
Yes,
They
exactly.
vacated the taxes.
I think we could sell it to a data center, it wouldn't even be a problem.
I think,
That'd be
Build
set
their
up
own
next
power
week,
plant
yeah.
out there.
go ahead, Nick, I think we gotta spend enough time on that
Oh.
one. I think we gotta
That's,
go.
that's a good point though, because it's, I don't know, it's a growth, but it's very difficult. Lots of intergovernmental type of work that has to happen, as well as someone that hopefully has the patience to go through it, to develop it, to get it out of there and open up an administrative district. Or obsolete the last one. So, yeah, alright, so I think are we good on that? I think everyone's still good with though, with trying to redevelop and that we kinda hammered that home the last couple meetings, redevelopment in our downtown corridor and our
Oh, yeah.
vacancy in our commercial spaces.
Evict the raccoons.
Yeah, definitely. And then finally, this one has a ton of action steps, is institute a streamlined and cohesive development review process. Now, there's a ton of stuff in there, some that, tourism mixed use zone district was adopted. I don't think we have anything in our map zone that, but it is an opportunity, and there are people that do call and ask about that, so that is good. And I think that's where you get to your trailer, like your mobile, or not mobile home, trailer parking for like your overnight stays or camping type stuff. So opening that up was really good.
Where is that zone?
I don't think there is one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna
it
say-
is an option.
Yeah.
Someone could, and like I said, there's been people that talked about it, and I wanna put 4 camper parking spots in this half lot I have left over on my property, and we've talked about it. There's maybe some hurdles to make sure you're not going to be, I don't know, abusing the sewer system, so that was one thing that's been brought up, but, it is doable, definitely. We've noticed that a lot of these went to Los Angeles County, so there's one, Tower 64 is one, there's one going to be going in across the street, or that's been at least in the plans, so they Love's got one when they did their development as well, so they're kind of popping up, but more on the edges of town, which is probably appropriate. Industrial zone district adopted, so we do have the industrial zoning, which is great. Zoning map, we have that. The process update, and this is what I want to talk about, was prior to me coming in, you guys did all that work with Mr. Yurman to streamline these processes. And I will say, when I talk to these people, especially developers and single family residents, people looking for a home, they're shocked at how fast the process is. And then that goes into the permitting process, or if you're gonna do remodel process, they're shocked at how fast our department works. And that's a lot because of the work you guys did in the land use code. So, I know I'd say for that, it's probably a huge check mark and kudos for doing that, because we get a lot of compliments on that. So, trying to make sure we're doing things right, but expediting as fast as possible, understanding that to a lot of these developers, time is money. So I think that's a big kudos and good job on that. Then they have adopt rural subdivision regulations that encourage clustered residential developments that preserve and protect natural resources. I don't know, and I don't know what's changed from the previous code to the code I have now, just because I don't have that experience, but I think we've done a great job within our open space and land dedication requirements in our subdivisions, I think we've done a good job of maintaining that. And the only experience I really have is like Duran Ventures.
I think we need to work on the roof pitch. I think that this is where this falls in. And honestly, I believe that, I mean, what is the process we go through? How many people do we have come through here and ask us about the roof pitch over and over again, and we all sit up here and go, okay, let's change it.
Listen.
We always change it. We always change the roof pitch so that we can accommodate. Why don't we just go ahead and get with these companies that are trying to bring in these modular homes and find out what are they willing to work with us on, so that we can just bridge this gap and quit this whole process that we keep doing.
I think so. We could do that independent of the land use code. We could do that. We could start that process now, being that hopefully I could have enough time to. But I think one thing that'd be in the conversation, and so to understand that we would have to amend the land use code, which isn't a big deal. We could do it all. We do it all the time, or we can do it. Is, you know, say this is a recommendation of planning commission, you know, assistance of, you know, I'll pitch it because I'm your guy. So, you know, I'll go to city council, and then we'll go to city council for ordinance. And there'll be some public meetings and all that. But I think before we get to the point of, let's just amend it to 412 or whatever, I think we really need to have a serious discussion of what do we want? Do we go 312, 412, 512?
512s.
512
would be all
would be
right.
good.
But what about a Spanish style house?
What?
What
Or
about a
flat-
Spanish
yeah,
style?
Flat roof.
Or, you know, those
I
mountain
agree
modern
with that.
pitches, they're only like 2 or 3 you know, the mountain modern look?
See, I think
I don't
what we're
know.
trying to accomplish actually is a load per square foot.
Yeah.
We're not trying to accomplish a slope.
It's
Yeah.
the load,
We
yeah.
would really like to have these different Spanish style houses. I love those
Yeah.
things.
So if that's the consensus, right? If we're okay with whatever we're okay with a flat roof, or if we're okay with a, you know, 312, whatever, we could work in between and find all that out. And then also understanding if we want to maybe add additional, if we're uncomfortable, because in the past, so my understanding is there was roof failures because
Right.
they were, so maybe instead of having right now our our snow load is 30, maybe we say, okay, if you're going to dip under that 612, then you're going to be kicked up to 35.
There you go.
And yes, you may have to, there'd be costs involved because you're going to have to add additional trusses, but, you know, understanding that that is an option. If you are dead set and you can't come to that 612 for whatever reason, well, then you can do a 412, whatever, but you may have to add.
Go hire a coach.
Yeah, in which case, and like I said, this is all, we'd have to work with, I could work with our third party, Shums Coda, to see,
You want,
their
but
professional.
don't you want most, like, for instance, the new houses that are coming up out there
Uh-huh.
in that San Esteban development,
Yes,
them are all 612s.
they are correct, that's correct,
Okay,
they're 612s.
so then you start changing and the neighborhood starts changing.
Mhm.
You got a 412 over here, you got a 6, all these 612s, and they put the money in for the 612.
Yeah.
Then you're creating something else for somebody to come in.
Mhm.
Okay, so then the neighborhood is going, because there's
Yeah.
other lots out there right between these houses.
They're still making lots.
You start changing anything, and then you got one that has a 312, and you got somebody right next to it that has 612.
Mm-hmm.
We was here when they changed that.
Yes.
They changed that in 6 and 7, I think it was, when we had all the snow.
Uh-huh.
Because on account of that, people were saying, well, how come my house caved in? How come you didn't have this? How come?
Uh-huh.
They were actually blaming the city at one time,
Yeah,
and that's why it was changed.
Well,
And now the big buildings that come in, like steel buildings, that's steel.
Can you have I'm just asking a question, can you have an ordinance that pertains to like the HUD manufactured homes? Like, cause those are all manufactured homes out there, whether they're modular or manufactured, right? And then you have stick-built construction.
Well, they're building stick buildings now, right?
yes.
Out
Yeah.
there.
They were all stick built.
but
Okay.
don't we address that in the similar builds? You have to be similar to what's around you.
Yeah, and our town is so old, we have such a diverse,
Right.
you know, we have such a diverse amount of roof pitches across town. Some places it's unbelievably steep, and in some places you're like, you know, it's near flat, or flat itself. So, that's where it's really difficult. But that's what I was gonna say too, is we could limit this to zones. We
Right.
could kinda pull out, you know, in our zoning map, we could call out whatever, and this would take a little bit of work on our zoning map, but that's not a big deal either. To say, if you're in
But does that hurt our
R2,
infield?
you can do a 412.
Does that hurt our infield whenever we start setting areas up like that? Does that stop the lots in the middle from being sold?
It could be, yeah. Right now, we're making everyone come to us anyway, though.
Right.
So you could always at least it's an opportunity. If hey, I'm stuck, I know I wanna come to Trinidad, which happens, people tell me this, I know I wanna come to Trinidad, but I can't afford to build a home, I'm gonna put a modular home.
I hear a lot of this.
Yeah,
I hear we're missing quite a few opportunities to build and put these modular homes in per year.
yeah,
And to me, I mean, man, that's just missed opportunities. And I don't really understand what it is. I mean, I hear snow load, but I don't really hear snow load. I hear something else. I hear wanting that house to have the same pitch as this house, and that's not a snow load issue.
No.
That's something else. I don't know exactly what it is, but
It's a snow load.
It doesn't-
It's a
Well, it
snow load.
doesn't conform to the,
Yeah, because
The
it's not
neighborhood.
coming off of you.
but if you strengthen the snow load, the pitch doesn't matter.
but if
I'll-
it conforms
I'll-
to the neighborhood.
But see, that's something else. That's a different argument. That is not a snow load argument.
No, it's not.
Conforming to what your neighbor has is not an argument of structure or load or anything like that. That's pleasing your neighbor. That's something completely different.
I'll say this, let me, cause I've heard this enough, let me put it on the agenda, maybe next month, as long as I can get all the information I wanna get to you guys. That way, you have all of it in front of you, and then if we don't even have to make a decision, we could just make it a discussion.
Right.
And then after that, I'll have to type up an ordinance, which is not a big deal, and we will see if, yeah, that's actually an easy
Could
one.
we-
Not have to be an easy one, really one easy one, yeah, so I don't even have to worry about that, but.
Could we put an invitation out to the contractors that we've had come in that would actually be able to talk to us on this? I mean,
Yeah.
because we've had one of the contractors come down here a couple of times and speak to us on this, and if we're actually going to put in time on this, we could just have him down and
Yeah,
he'd tell us all about it.
I'm trying to think.
And I work with an engineer that could talk about that load thing too,
Right.
if you
Yeah.
want some
Yeah,
professional advice.
we definitely want some professional advice, definitely.
Does it have anything to do with stick-built versus not stick-built? And the only reason I'm asking that is like, look at the neighborhood where you live.
mm,
Look at all the different pitches out
Yeah.
here, right? It doesn't matter that, the one house that came before us that we had to get the,
mm,
for steeper pitch,
mm.
cause it was too
That one
pitch.
was too steep, yeah,
Yeah, so, but it still looks beautiful,
yeah.
and go up into the reserve,
Mm.
same thing, you've got
Yeah.
Spanish style.
Spanish style homes, yeah.
I know there's people that have wanted to build that Mountain Modern,
Mm.
and it's a totally different issue than what you're dealing with manufactured homes. Like, I don't think you can lump it all into one,
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I don't know how you accomplish
I don't.
that.
That's why we got Nick.
well, that's why we have you guys. We'll talk it out enough to get something decent together and, yeah, so let me like put this on the agenda for April, we can make it a meeting point. That way we can get this on the table, make sure, and then I'm trying to think the best way to reach out to contractors. Let me think about that and I'll give you guys an update by the end of the week, cause I want them to be involved, definitely,
Yes, sir.
cause it affects them, affects a lot of people, so yeah.
And there's so many different modular homes.
There are.
One could be a really good,
Yeah,
and another one could have 5/12 pitch roof and be horrible.
that's correct.
I agree. That's
They're
where
not
our
all the
building
same,
codes are
they're
gonna
not all
have
the
to be.
same, so how do you separate them, how do you?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It's
fair.
just it's kind of a
It's hard.
can of worms.
It is a bit of a can of worms.
And I know, Santa Fe, the city of Santa Fe, New Mexico they have like in their building codes, like how a building has to look, and I think they're really extreme in that way, but we could take some of that idea. Cause it's not just about the engineering, it's like it has to be stucco and it has to be brown, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Woodland. Woodland has most of their business looking like log cabins.
log cabins.
Even
Yeah.
Walmart is a log cabin.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy that
Yeah,
they
and
have
I'm
Walmart to do
not
that.
to do something so extreme, but something like maybe taking some,
Yeah, and you could do,
I think we should make
to
Walmart
avoid
be a
what,
log cabin.
Chairman Leone said is, try to maybe require, say if your pitch, require certain siding type, or,
yeah.
If you
But
were
we'd have to
gonna-
be careful because we can't be too restrictive. You also can't, then there's also the fire code, which is restrictive in itself. But we could try to find that line. I don't know, I think at least next month we could at least start the conversation. I don't know if we'll come to a consensus, but that's totally fine. We can drag it on a month or two, and then I don't mind going to council and saying, this is a recommendation. And to be honest with you, I think they'll be open to it as well. They've heard it a little bit themselves, so.
If we were gonna go down that road and start talking about the aesthetics, that's where the solar incentives and stuff could come in. We could actually go for a green city rating. And if we could get our residents to buy into a certain percentage of solar, we could get funding for that.
Okay, I'll have to look into that one. But yeah, let me get that first pitch on. We'll do it in April.
Is Green City something that cities can, or what is that?
It's a funding project. I saw it on the internet. It's a grant program, Green City USA. It has to do with renewable resources and, yeah, it's just a movement.
Like
There's a
incentives?
project in Kansas where they redid the entire town. I gotta believe it got wiped out by a tornado. And they just redid the whole town with the Green City USA
Oh,
kind of deal.
I'll
I
have to look
say we
into that.
try to help them get rid of their non-tube wiring first.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you can't put solar on non-tube wiring,
You cannot. That's something else.
and
is,
that's
you
in
know,
90% of our old houses.
Yeah, right.
Before you can plan to improve
Romance.
the
Yeah,
infrastructure,
let's get rid of the little
you
glass.
have to look at the
We
fact
call
that
it
the conduit that's there can barely carry the load that's being put in place now. And, you know, the further you stretch it, the bigger the conduit has to be, and now you're talking
Right.
about transmission wires that have to be this big. And, you know, I mean, how high up do you have to get those things in the air before they're safe? I mean,
Right.
yeah, you know, the
Oh.
technology doesn't exist to make those things yet.
One thing, the last thing I wanted to bring up, and Commissioner Miller kind of brought up earlier, is somewhere in here, we're gonna probably have to work with, or it would be partners, so that'd be like Los Angeles County, obviously, to make sure we're working together on our entire region, but, and as well as Calexico, I believe is what it's called, maybe it's called it used to be the Chamber of Commerce. And then as well as, what is it called? What is it called? Where Joe's works?
Oh, Emergent Campus.
Emergence Campus, I'm sorry, I drew such a big
Yeah.
blank there. So we're partnering with them, and they do the incubator stuff. They've looked at a lot. They've done a lot of economic development work and research, and they have a lot of cool projects upcoming. So definitely partnering with them and making sure we could all be beneficial together and create some economic development opportunities for our city. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure we got that out there. We're going to have to partner with a lot of these people, which is great.
Something I'd like to add in on that,
Mhm.
it would be super great if I could get some intern jobs or some student jobs in the technology, cybersecurity with the city. I know there's grants out there where we could get them paid. I have students that would benefit so much from just being able to come down and work just a few hours with y'all and see the systems actually working and running.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to run that by the IT, but I'll put a bug in there.
I could put good students down here that would do
Okay.
y'all real good.
Okay. I'll get with them, make sure that, let's see if there's grant opportunities out there, I could kind of walk them through that.
Appreciate you, Nick.
Anything else? All right, I think that's kind of where I drew the line today, if that's all right. And I gave you that next one, that'd just be for next meeting, I guess. Maybe not, if we have some other discussions to talk about, maybe we'll push that to the meeting in April. It's up to you guys, but that's kind of where, it's totally up to you. I'm here just trying to help.
Our next meeting is April,
I like it.
April 14th,
I make a motion, we push that next paper till next time.
yeah. That's
Anybody got a second?
non-voting matter. I appreciate that.
All right.
Would you pass that back that way?
That's your general.
That's mine,
Oh, this is
Yeah,
Okay, chairman's report. Okay, so I had some relatives that came to town, well, not relatives, some business people that came to town here in the last 10 days. And they're from New Mexico, deep in New Mexico. And so they went and they wanted to go see, I took them and see the pickleball park that the city's building, and it still didn't have the lighting in. There was poles there, and they weren't connected at that time. But anyway, I showed them that, I showed them to the skate park, and I went up and showed them different places, you know, and they thought that pickleball park was tremendous. And, but this is the one thing they brought to me. They said, we went downtown, which I wasn't in town at that time. We went downtown and we walked from the post office all the way down to the end of where the wine shop is. And went in the wine shop, and they were really enthused about how many different wines she had. And they said, but you have so much art. Why do you have all that art on Main Street? My wife went into one place, and then she crossed the street and went to another place, and it was the same thing. Why ain't them buildings filled with something else besides art? I couldn't answer that question because I never really thought of it. I could not answer that question. And I don't know if anybody up here can answer it. He said, does that bring in that much money during a year? I said, I couldn't tell you that either. And then another thing they asked us says, so are most of them buildings owned or are they rented? I said, I would say they're rented, but I don't know about that either.
Yeah, I'd say
So
probably
you
most
got
of
somebody
them,
coming
yeah.
in from out of town and saying that, you know, why don't you have something else on your Main Street besides art?
Mm.
They were really enthusiastic about the courthouse. They liked the way the courthouse looked.
Yeah.
They liked the way the First National Bank looked.
Did they say what else they wanted to see besides art?
Yeah, they wanted to see something else besides art.
Or do you know what they would like?
No, I didn't say, but they said there's so much art. That's all they said.
I think that come from the city had a big push the last time we worked on all this towards the arts.
Mhm.
And I believe that the businesses reflected what the city was putting their efforts into. That's just my opinion on it, and I think it'll probably dwindle out like maybe the marijuana business is going to. We'll go from having mostly marijuana shops to maybe we'll have an art store or something.
But anyway, that's the thing that I have to say. I lived here all my life, and I didn't really think about, you know, I know we used to have like shoe stores and clothing stores, men's clothing stores, women's clothing stores, all that down in that area. I never really thought about it. The buildings are full, yeah, they are, you know, it's better than having them boarded up.
Yes.
But how do you answer that question?
Yeah, I know there's been a big push for art in our city, so I think our businesses reflect that.
I just thought
I think that
bring that up.
I think that's the best answer is our city's really pushed for the art and artists, and we've created spaces for them to live and work. So that our business would reflect that.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing else to say. Commissioners, Mr. Rollo? Mr. Vonarano?
No.
Oh, yeah, always me. I got something to say. Actually, I wanna thank y'all. We have been spending time down in the parks. I've been spending time at y'all's meetings, the extra meetings. I really appreciate y'all going out of y'all's way to start those new meetings, leadership meetings. I see that y'all are doubling the people, and the input that's coming in from the citizens is good stuff. I see y'all working on making the changes, man. They're not just being stagnant out there. Whenever I'm out there, me and my wife have taken up bocce ball. We're looking forward to that tournament. Whenever we're out there, you know, the parks are getting better. We see the police officers actually making patrols. I really appreciate that. I want y'all to know that the citizens say thank you so much. A lot of them appreciate that. And I want to tell them that too. You know, if we displace this element that we don't want in the parks and we don't take it back, then we didn't do any good. That's the other side of this. Once we push that element that we don't want in the parks, we have to take it back. We have to be out there, so I wanna ask the citizens to do that. Start coming out to the parks. Start playing pickleball and bocce ball and, enjoying our parks and take that area back, so that our efforts just aren't wasted. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, 2 Saturdays ago, it was unbelievable.
Oh, man.
It was unbelievable, but there was a lot of presents there, cops presents.
Yeah.
And there was some that they just rooted them out.
Yeah.
Gotta
Took 'em
take
away.
care of it. It's working out pretty good.
Mr. Miller,
Nothing for me.
Mr. Treader?
Yeah, I really got a lot out of the citywide training we did a couple of weeks ago with the tax incremental finance training. It was, it seemed like it might open some doors to significant efforts to rehabilitate some of these buildings we've been talking about.
Could the Riverwalk or the river area be a TIF opportunity?
That's a tough one. Maybe. You
I
might
mean,
be able
it'd
to
be
shoehorn
tough
it
to
in.
enter into an agreement like that, but if we were able to develop that whole thing as a TIF,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, there's maybe if you could, because they can do infrastructure stuff, so maybe we could see if we could shoehorn something in.
Definitely take
It
care
might
of
be,
some
it might
water.
be a little bit, but
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe.
We just have to find
Sorry
out
to
the
interrupt
investor.
you.
Okay, planning director, it's yours.
Thank you. So, first thing I got is there's another city leadership meeting tomorrow at 12 at the Commons. I forgot exactly who's going to be at that one, which council member's going to be there.
And it's at what time?
At noon tomorrow at the Commons. So just wanted to make sure you guys were at that one. And then there's also going to be an open meeting, a public meeting, the 18th at 5:30 at the Commons. That's going to be for the building code. So we're going to have, we reached out, sent out letters to contractors again, trying to get the message out there that there's a meeting. There's gonna be a presentation done by we have a consultant worked on the building code and the changes, just to get some feedback from the citizens and the contractors.
So have we heard anything about what's going on up north with the ones that are soon?
I haven't, I looked,
Ms. Rowland, have you heard anything
What was the question, I'm sorry?
about the building code? How people ain't adopted it, they're opting to the code.
I have not looked into it any
yeah,
further. I mean, it just seems like from like the things that you guys put out, we want it. And they put it out in a spin that's, let us show you why this will benefit Trinidad and blah, blah, blah. So to me, it sounds like staff already has it like planned that that's what they're gonna do.
well, we have to plan to do it. If council votes no, or plan commission recommends no, that's totally fine, that's your guys' right, that's city council's right. But following state is what we're trying to do. And that's where that stuff came from, is from the state, the verbiage.
But you're,
Obviously.
But you don't have to, right?
but you're trying to do that because of grants, ain't you?
Yeah, that'd be part of
So-
the reason.
So is that a reason, really? Is that a reason?
What's
Is that a good reason? I know we get a lot of grants, but is that a good reason just because we get grants, we gotta opt into it?
If it's
Because
okay,
it's gonna bring everything up. We're trying to cut it down. You just said it a little while ago. Mike Yarman did everything to cut things down, made it shorter, made it easier for contractors, made it cheaper. Now, gonna adopt it and it's gonna bring everything back up again.
yeah. If
And
it's,
that doesn't make sense to me.
if
I'm
it's
talking for
okay,
myself up here.
if it's okay, it's on the next agenda for us to talk about again. Can we talk about it then?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
what
Ms.
time is
Rallo.
that meeting?
Would,
The 18th.
would you help us with looking some stuff up, for that next meeting whenever we come in here to talk about it? Would you, I know you're the real estate person and you're
Right.
very knowledgeable in this.
Oh, I'm
Would
sorry,
you-
I was looking up the time for her, I wasn't even listening to you.
Would you
I
help us with
apologize.
looking up how things are going up north with this?
I sure can.
I know that this is your thing, and I believe we could benefit, if you would help us and bring some stuff to us.
I will do my best.
Yeah, I would like to hear like real numbers, like cost
Mhm.
versus risk versus benefit versus disadvantages, like real numbers.
I think the contractors that are gonna be at that meeting.
Yeah,
might
I think
have
they'll
an
give us
idea.
some answers, yeah.
Yeah, so make you aware that's gonna be the 18th at 5:30 at the Commons.
Oh, there you go.
And what time is that gonna be?
5:30
5:30.
at the Commons, the 18th, so that's in a week from Wednesday, or a week from tomorrow.
And did you know Robin is giving her presentation on the
time?
septic at the
5:30.
same exact time you guys are doing
Oh,
yours?
is that right? Oh, septic.
Whenever the
Oh,
building,
no.
Cause there are
people
more
Yeah.
state
for
requirements.
codes.
Yes, there is.
So the county is doing their presentation on all the state mandate increases for the septic system requirements. I think they call it something 43.
My goodness.
And they're doing that meeting at the same exact time the city's doing their meeting. And they're
Oh.
both important to
To the
If they make
contractors.
those septic
Huh?
system
To the
requirements,
the contractors, you know.
if they make those septic system requirements any tougher, ain't nobody gonna be able to even build in this state.
They're already 40 grand.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy, and I mean, wow.
Yeah.
And then the building code will be, that's going to be agenda item for April 14th, as well, so we'll talk about it next meeting. The staff is gonna go to work session with city council the day before, the 13th, to present to them as well. And this is just the information that we have and some of the major changes to the building code, as well as the state mandated codes. So that's kind of an update on that. If it takes another meeting, staff doesn't plan on taking this to city council for ordinance until May, so there's quite a bit of time to get the.
When is the building code due?
It needs to be adopted per the state statute by the state bill, by the July 1, so the end of June.
So the April 13th meeting where you're presenting to council, is that an open public meeting?
Yes, it's a work session.
And what time is that meeting?
They do those at 3 typically.
Does the uniform building code have the stipulations that the state wants us to do?
No.
That's
No.
what they're trying to change.
Oh, I wanted to share something about this building code, cause I looked into it a while ago and I was looking up some stuff from like Denver, like those counties that were really upset about it. And I don't know the whole story, but part of it was like the people who were affected the most were like high-rise buildings of apartments. So it was like, oh, we can't afford to put a heat pump in each and every unit. We have to have like this whole, like that sort of thing. But like for what we're doing, it doesn't seem to be like the same things that would be affected. But
It's gonna bring up the cost like 20
It'll bring up
to
the
40%.
cost of a residential house,
The wiring, yes.
way up.
They already passed the state.
By half.
The electric part of it's already done deal.
Right.
So you can't get around that. They already passed that, that's done. So,
But the solar,
but the
the solar that
windows
requires on the
and,
wrong side of the roof.
Go ahead.
the windows and some insulation things and your furnaces, that's all stuff we can control we used to be able to control locally. But
So if you want gas, what do? You have to put electric
I
Put
don't
the
know.
electric in there and you still run the gas
and pay for it.
and pay for it.
See, that's wrong.
But it's, what they're saying, I understand what they're saying. They're saying that you build for future use and that at some point along the way, someone is going to make the decision to take that gas unit out,
But I
put
have
an
to pay
electric.
for you maybe to have solar, that's
Well,
crap.
Okay, so I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do. I absolutely
It's
agree
like
with
big
that.
government just telling everybody what they have to do, whether you want it or not.
So, there are municipalities or jurisdictions that have said, no, we're not gonna adopt those. They still adopted a new building code, which is also a big piece of this too. There is the 2024 building code, which I think is a very good thing to adopt, because it is good to get your building code within reason, right? Ours is 2018, it's starting to get a little dated. There's not much change between 2018 and 2024, but that's not a reason not to adopt it.
Right.
So as far as the extra stuff that the state has told us that we need to adopt, I know that's the big sticking point for everyone. That's stuff that, we'll have conversations about and hear everyone's opinions, which,
It's
I'm
gonna
happy
be
to
a great
hear.
meeting.
And, we'll see how, city council feels and how you guys feel once we bring it to you. I think my plan for that too, it was in April, I'll try to give you an overview, and then in May, it'd be in May, to get, a recommendation from you guys, so.
Okay.
To pass on the city council. Next I appreciate everyone who went to that Tura meeting, on February 23rd. I thought it was very beneficial. We talked about tax increment fund, or tax increment finance, as a way that our urban renewal can cure blight and redevelop properties. I do also work with urban renewal, so we have some exciting stuff coming down the line, and curing blight, which is a big win, and makes me extremely happy. So we're working on that, and hopefully you'll see some signs up by Tura saying that they are responsible for these types of projects. So that's really good stuff. A little bit's executive session right now, but it's good stuff.
I know y'all have a house that's getting ready to come down, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's coming out of the city's development services team. That one there is
Across the street from the tool place, right?
508 University. It's right there by the high school football field.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That dead end road.
Yes. So we had that one abated, got it, a bid to demo it, and it should be down within a month, so,
it's already went out to bid.
yes, sir.
Good job, Nick.
So it took a long time, it takes longer than you would like, but I'm happy to get that moving on. Then a couple things, yesterday I didn't present, I handled a project for the River Visioning, Commissioner Spain's talked about it a little bit. It was at a work session, so it should be like on YouTube at Trinidad TV, Time TV 71, yeah. So they, if you want to take a look at it, they presented it, the project, city council heard it for the first time for a lot of them, and, just kinda see where that project's at. It is
What kind of project is it?
It is to basically have a lot of infrastructure done on the Riverwalk, have it go pick up where it is now, have it loop across the Linden, or come across the Linden Bridge, loop back and tie back into like Commercial Street. So
Oh.
making it a loop that way, as well as adding some, kind of rerouting the walk where it goes up on Chimino Park, kind of keep it down below. And then there's a big amendment, or a big change to Chimino Park, to make it a little more, I don't know, concert friendly. So there's putting a big bandstand, and they're also going along the river walk, they're gonna put more access points to the river itself. It is a big undertaking project. It's a project I inherited, last November, so I'm still wrapping my arms around it. But it's really cool, and you can take a look at the work session. They presented it pretty well, and it sounds like city council is in favor of it, so we'll continue to work on it. Right now, we're currently getting 100% construction rate documents put together. So after that, we'll look at funding and how we're gonna pay for those construction documents. It is expensive, so.
How do we watch that presentation again?
Trinidad
Just
Times
search
TV 71?
Channel 71.
Channel 71.
Yeah.
What is it? Sorry.
Trinidad Times TV 71.
You can search that on YouTube, and
Yeah, just search.
that's how I do my minutes.
They have the city council meetings and everything.
Yeah, they do. Like our meeting will be on there. So it'll be the one right before ours.
Great.
So yeah, take a look at that, and it kind of plays into this, what we're talking about with the comprehensive plan. Last thing I have is there's an open house next Thursday out at City View Heights, for that project that the Trinidad Land Trust, or no, I'm sorry, not Trinidad Land Trust, the Community Land Trust, that they're putting on with those 13 affordable housing units, the ones that were referenced earlier. So they're having an open house. They're nearing completion. The houses look great up there, so I think it actually adds a lot of character to instead of having the same houses over and over. Some really nice, well done houses, and they've done.
What are the most square footage of them?
They float around.
Not counting the garage.
Yeah, not counting the garage. I think they're around 16 to 1700. So not terribly
That's nice.
huge, but really nice houses, brand new homes that are going to be, hopefully in the more affordable range, and it depends on what people define as affordable, but they're definitely low for a brand new home. So it's very encouraging, and they have the open house next Thursday from 4 to 5:30. So hopefully just trying to gain momentum, make sure we get those things filled up. They're like I said, they're really nice houses. And then Church Street still dug up. You guys could see that pretty well out the window there. That's still going to continue to be an up.
They're coming along though. Looks
They've done
good.
a heck of
Coming
a
along,
job.
Way ahead.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I went and saw, they're doing point repairs, they're 25 foot deep. And so they have a huge trench box there, and that was the first time, the only chance I had to go look at them do it. It was very impressive to watch those guys cut out that pipe, old clay pipe that's 100+ years old. And then hoist it out of the 25 foot hole and get it replaced, new coupler, new PVC. And they've completed all, there were 7 of those, they completed all of them, so. Very impressive to watch that crew work actually, and it looked really easy. It was only 5 minutes for them to do that, but I know it was about a week's worth of moving dirt to get down there, so it was really cool to see. So that project's moving good.
That new dining area, that new outdoor sitting area that y'all did on the other side of Bella Luna, that looks really good.
LEA, yeah.
Yeah, good job on that.
Yeah, that was a little engineering there.
Yeah.
Did a great job. That's all I have.
Anything else? Nothing? If not, make a motion.
Motion to end the
Adjourn.
meeting, adjourn.
Do I
Motion
have a
to
second?
adjourn.
I'll second
I'll
that.
Second right now. Roll call.
Miller,
Yes.
Schreider,
Here, yes.
Moderano,
Yes.
Spain,
Yes, sir.
Rolo,
Yes.
Leone.
Yes.